to improve literacy among Indigenous students?
Some of the main barriers. The main barriers are lack of resources, whether it's in the home, and certainly it has been an issue for us here at this school with the Share a Book program. That certainly helped us get over that hurdle. And to be able to know that we can access this material now on a continued basis will strengthen that as well for our children. So to know that that program will be able to continue on in our community is one of the great things that we can say that we can do now.
Brilliant.
If you need to learn.
Yeah. And what do you love about reading?
Well, that some books can become movies.
Oh, is that something that you learnt today?
Yeah.
And who did you learn that from?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for sending us the books. Thank you very much for sending us the books.
My name is Nari Pittman and I'm in Year 6.
And Nari, can you tell us a little bit about reading for you and how important it is in books?
Reading for me is a great achievement because when I start a book I can't stop because it drags you in, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And do you do a lot of writing yourself, or do you like to write? Has it inspired you to write? Answer the question again with the question.
Sometimes when I feel like I'm writing, it just seems to come out, but sometimes if I do write it, it just doesn't seem to make sense half the time.
And is writing something you do a lot?
Not very often, but if we have to do creative writing, it's a really good story for me.
And it's good practice.
Yes.
Because her goal to when she leaves school is to be a journalist.
Or a pro netballer.
Yeah.
You could be a sports reporter.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her the other day. She can do both.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Shannon, you have how many children at the school here?
I have 4 here.
4 children at the school here.
Yeah.
And from years 6?
I've got Nara in Year 6. I've got Toralei, she's in Year 3. Chipaki's in Year 2. And AJ's started kindergarten this year.
And have you seen the Share a Book program in action at the school here?
Well, I've noticed that the kids have been bringing books home a lot more frequently from the library. The first 2 terms they didn't really have library day, like they had library days at school, but they didn't borrow books and stuff because there weren't enough books in the library for that sort of thing. And now they're bringing them home, and it's really encouraged the kids. AJ gets really excited about it.
Have you noticed an improvement in their reading and writing since they've been bringing more books?
I've noticed a big improvement in Chipaki's reading. She wasn't reading very fluently and stuff, and she's going really well now. And she's, constantly in the library. She comes home every day she's here. She comes home, I was in the library today and I did this and I did that. So it's really good to see that she actually wants to be around books, because before, when she wasn't very confident with her words and the fluency of the reading, she just wasn't really interested. And now every time I turn around, pretty much she's sitting there reading a book.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great for your children.
Basically for them to be happy, do whatever they want, and I just want to show them how to do those sorts of things. Like, for example, Nari was talking about when she leaves high school, she'd like to travel, her and her cousin. So we talked about things she can do while she's in high school, like going to TAFE and doing a hairdressing course and a makeup course, or hospitality or something like that, so that she can work as she travels and travel for as long as she likes. And the same with the other kids. Yeah.
How does a pedestrian travel?
Bobby, what do you want to learn? W. She can learn. What is it? 9 times 9. 81. 81. Is that 81? 9 times 9?
One of the things that School Aid does with its campaigns is really connect kids around an issue and mobilise an entire school network. So through this very simple and powerful mechanism that kids can actually bring a book along to school, a book that they themselves love and that they want to share with their peers in Indigenous communities, there's an opportunity to educate and to mobilise around the issue of Indigenous literacy in a very simple and powerful way.
To get involved with Share a Book and the School Aid partnership, you need to register through School Aid. You need to register your school and put your hand up to be involved. 1 out of 5 children in remote communities read at the minimum standard. Just imagine 25 kids in a class and only 5 can read at the minimum standard. It's outrageous. We really need to do something. These children need to have the same options as everyone else.
Okay. We're thrilled about partnering with School Aid this year for 2 of our most important appeals, the Share a Book Day appeal and the Hands Across the Nation appeal at the end of the year. We couldn't think of a better partner to help support us in getting 5 out of 5 Indigenous kids reading above a minimum standard. School Aid is going to mobilise 1,500 schools, thousands of kids, our future leaders, to help support the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation in its work in Indigenous communities. Okay. As part of our Share a Book Day 2010 launch with School Aid, we took celebrated Australian author Libby Haythorne out to Minimba Primary School in Armidale, where we were going to treat the kids there to a reading of a couple of her award-winning picture books. Now, this school in Armidale, Minimba Primary School, had actually benefited from ALNF's Share a Book program earlier on in the year, where we delivered 40 boxes of pre-loved kids' books so that they could stock their library and send more home with the kids to help support literacy in the home. Minimba Primary School actually benefited from receiving 40 boxes of our Share a Books. They were books donated to us from kids across Sydney, in fact across Australia, through a Share a Book campaign we did earlier in the year. And those books were taken into Minimba Primary School. They helped stock the library. The kids were allowed to take them home and share them with their brothers and sisters, and they encouraged reading at home with parents and community members.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah? Okay.
There's one point that I don't know if Julie